What's going on, everybody? Out here on another glorious day. Sunshine nice and bright and shit. Nice day for a nice vlog. I think what I'm gonna talk about today is the differences that I feel between my current bike, my 2013 GSXR 600, compared to my 2008 CBR 600 RR. Number one thing that I saw was the difference is the exhaust design. And how on the CBR, it's under the rear seat, undertail. On the GSXR, it's on the side, the right side. Now, I kind of like the undertail, the undertail look, but they had that big heat shield right there that I did not like. And when I tried to put a fender eliminator kit on it, I mean, it looked cleaner. I admit it did look cleaner, but it just didn't really appeal to me. Cause I had to get, I feel like I had to get more body work done just to get it look exactly right. And then you also take the risk of burning your fucking hands on that exhaust if you ever reach back there and try to touch it. Yeah, and then when I put the tail light for it, it will sit real. I can either get it under in a small spot on the underneath the tail, over the exhaust, which to me, it really still makes it hard to see. And plus with your exhaust right there, you really take the chance of melting that fucking light. You know, that's just, I don't know, that just seemed a little bit too much for me right there. And then, the other style, which the one I got, was the one where you put the actual tail light kind of like under where your rear fender is. I mean, it looked pretty cool, but it wasn't like hardly visible. You know, I always get complaints from my friends saying, man, I could barely see you when you hit the brakes, man. Someone could easily ram in the back of you. You know, and then the turn signals I got with it, they were so tiny you could barely see them unless you, only person that would know who they are is me, unless you're really staring at my bike, or at nighttime possibly. I mean, that didn't fit too good with me, because it was just dangerous. All right, man, what you waiting on, man? Damn, old fucking people, boy. All right. The other difference between my CBR is the number of fairings. The GSXR has way more fairings than my CBR had, and to me they look better. You know, the GSXR only has that one headlight as far as the my CBR with the two. I mean, which is cool, but I mean, I had no problem with the headlight design. I mean, that wasn't really a big turn off for me, but that's another difference. I kind of like the one headlight look. It just looks like meaner and cleaner, you know. Now, one thing I did like about my CBR that I kind of miss is the fuel light. I had this little fucking fuel light that would tell you how much fuel. Damn, Lambo, dirty as hell. But yeah, that was pretty convenient, man. So instead of like guessing on your mileage on how much gas you got, I mean, you had a gauge to tell you exactly. But one thing about the GSXR is the I got a shift light. You know, I rarely ever read up the high, but I think shift lights are pretty cool. And also it has a toggle button where I can cycle through a lot of shit. I mean, there's a toggle button on the CBR, but it's way up here. You gotta press way up on your dash. On the GSXR, it's right there by the right handlebar. And I can cycle through all the different things like the mileages, my trip meter, time, and all that shit. You know, that was real convenient. That's also real convenient. Another thing about the GSXR, it has like this A and B mode, which is kind of cool for like the way you ride. A mode is pretty much full throttle. You know, as soon as you hit the gas, you're pretty much gone. B mode is more like it's a little bit less aggressive. You know, you could probably use that in like wet weathers. You know, or like or in the city, so you're not in first gear fucking jerking back and forth so hard. It's a little bit smoother. CBR didn't have that. A lot of people not the traction control at first, but now I see more and more bikes putting it into their system. So I guess Suzuki did something pretty good with that. One thing about the GSXR though, it's a lot heavier. It feels a lot more heavier than my CBR. My CBR, I feel like I could throw it around just a little bit easier than this. Even though I'm not an expert at taking turns and doing that type of shit, but I definitely feel the difference. It was definitely more centered too. It was like the center of gravity was way better on that bike. Cause I guess because the way it was designed, especially with that exhaust being down the center, it kept all the weight kind of like in the center of the bike instead of some being off-centered over here. You know, with the exhaust, because the exhaust weighs, it doesn't weigh that much, but it can throw your balance off just by a little. But the fairings and all the other stuff does make it a little bit heavier too. It's definitely a heavier bike compared to the CBR. Now also when I tried to upgrade my put some flush mounts on it, right? Because I wanted to take my factory bulky ass turn signals. But when I did that, I mean, it looked cool, but you can only see them from the side. No visibility up front. Like if I was going to a turn at a corner and I had my signal on, the car in front of me would not, like sitting at a corner, would not know it until I turn. They're only good like for the person like right next to you. Like say a car was like sitting right here. He would see my signal, but that'd be about it. On the GSXR, since their turn signals are pretty much integrated with the mirror, my flush mounts are up on front. So yeah, the car can see my signals from the front now, and as well as the side. Now I seen some people, they put turn signals. They do the signals, the flush mounts, along with the mirror integrated into the mirror. That's a lot of money you gotta spend to do that. I mean, it looks good, but it's just a lot of money you gotta add on to the bike. The other thing I had a difference. One thing I noticed too, when I was riding my CBR, I don't know how it was designed or not, but I would feel more heat from the engine on my leg. My leg would get really fucking hot. And I always wore pants or something like that, so I was like, damn, this shit's burning the fuck out of me. So I had to be real careful sometimes and fucking move my leg out, because it was getting really, really fucking hot down there. On the Gixxer, it's not as bad. I don't know, it's just the way that the ergonomics of the bike or the way it was constructed, but I definitely don't have that problem no more burning my leg like I did on my CBR. Also, another difference on this bike with my CBR is like it's more easier, I think, for me to lay down on the tank. It's like for everyone to fucking really gun it and get on it. It's really easy for me to fucking scoop down and get under my windscreen here. It's comfortable. But on the other side, on the CBR, I mean, it was more easy for me to get upright. You know, it was a little bit more comfortable when I was like in the upright position. Overall though, I like both bikes. The Gixxer, in my opinion, does look a little bit better though. It's a little bit, it has a little bit more appeal to it in my eyes. They did change the body style up this year, the CBR, on the last year that came out. So I'm excited to see how they keep changing that bike as well as the other kinds. As far as like the actual get up of the bike, the speed and power, not much difference. They're both 600cc bikes, you know. You can't expect to see that much of a difference in overall power. One thing about my Honda, never had any problems with it. Great bike. Never had no issues so far. I have none with with my Gixxer. So keep your fingers crossed. Keep knock on some wood. It's pretty much the meat and potatoes of the differences in my opinion. Both great bikes, and that's pretty much my review on the differences here. Till next time, fellas. Till next video. Be safe. Mahalo. Peace.